not here?
You won't be here.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll call to order the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue Board of Directors meeting for, wait a minute, October 20th?
No, did I not?
This meeting is being streamed live on Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. We have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we get a roll call?
Rita Ackerman?
Here.
Brad Deacon?
Here. Ray Woodruff
Present.
Kevin Battle?
Here.
John McCullough?
is excused.
A quorum is present.
Okay, we had the Civil Service Committee working on the new rules for civil service. There is supposed to be a public hearing on the document, and because it just kind of came to our attention that we needed to have a public hearing, I think you know, in the interests of transparency and so on, what we should probably do is either hold the public hearing now and see if there's any comments and then leave the record open, or have the public hearing at our next meeting in November, which allows people an opportunity to, you know, look at the document if they want to and make any comments that they may want to. And I think, overall, that would probably be my preference.
I don't think we're in a huge rush, right? I mean, it's not like,
No, I think they did a great job. I mean, I've looked at them.
I don't know a ton about it. I mean, I looked through it, but I don't.
Yeah, yeah.
My knowledge on that is pretty.
I'll say we go.
Okay. All right. So why don't we just go ahead and schedule the public hearing for the November meeting,
Okay.
and then we can, you know, assuming that we don't have any major changes or whatever, we can adopt them at that meeting. Thank you, Louise. Okay, we have the approval of the minutes. We have the regular minutes from September 9th, and then the special session minutes from September 29th. Have you all had a chance to review them?
Yep.
And are there any additions or corrections, or?
I can make a motion to approve the minutes.
It's been moved and seconded to approve both sets of minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And now it's citizen participation. If we have any citizens that wish to address the board, and it doesn't look like we have any. If there are any from the viewing audience, we can take care of those at the end of the meeting. Staff presentations.
Okay, so for September, we had 13 fires, 54 EMS responses, 4 vehicle crashes, 2 water rescues, 10 lift assists, and 2 other assists, for a total of 85 emergencies for the month. So far, that we've gotten into October, we've had 9 fires, 26 EMS emergencies, 6 vehicle crashes, no water rescues, 1 lift assist, and 2 other public assists, for a total of 44 calls so far this month, and a total of 842 calls so far this year. So,
9 fires?
yeah, that counts brush fires and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that too. We haven't had 9 house fires.
I was gonna say.
Car fires, brush fires,
Yeah.
everything that's
Yeah.
lit on fire. We had an RV fire that we helped with Newport on the other day that ended up in the paper. We also had a structure fire the week before. So.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Well, as far as maintenance goes, there's some things in the current levy that's expiring that we're kind of waiting for this funding to come in that we put in there so that I could get it done. But other than that, we haven't had any major breakdowns. I think we finally got the major stuff under control. We did have engine 74 lose a couple batteries, which wasn't cheap to fix, but those big commercial batteries are pretty spendy. But it's back up and running, and I ran it through its paces as far as pumps and so on, which is our 5 Rivers engine for the public. Other than that, I've been just trying to do a lot of data entry since I'm kind of in a lull spot, so that I can start doing reports that'll show you guys the financials as far as what is being spent on what engine or vehicle or whatever, so that every month you guys can come up to speed on what's broke, what's not, as far as financially how it's broke. So, but that's going to be an arduous process because I want to get a couple years in there so that we have something to look at in comparison to what we're doing now. So, other than that, prior to the meeting, it was brought up about the SDIS grant. Last year I applied for it for Tidewater, which is what put all the automation and security in up there. It's a 50-50 match grant. So like right now you go in, it's got a full security system because we had a lot of break-ins before us and equipment actually stolen off of apparatus. So it's got an alarm system that alerts me. And also when you disarm it, it turns on all the bay lights so that it's not dark when somebody goes in and respond from, at night. It's also got the outside lights are a dimmer light. They're not super bright, but enough to illuminate the building. So, but that was, like I said, paid for by a 50-50 match grant. This year I applied for this station to upgrade our security here, changing out a lot of the access control door locks so that we can go into where everyone will have their individual code as well as an RFD ID card with your picture on it. So in this system, even though it'll be installed now in talks of what we're doing with this, I can take it back out of the building and put it back into the building. So it's not something that we have to completely replace when we do our get to a remodel point. It'll be something we can take out, put off to the side, and then reinstall. And then if we want to add any extra, it's very modular. So it can just be stacked on forever. So longevity of the system will be a long. It's a bigger grant. I'm hoping we'll get it. If we do, I did find in waiting for it and just doing research on it, I did find the same exact system but cheaper. So if we do get it, that line item that I had put into that levy might save us a considerable amount of money. So even after the grant's there, so there might be some extra money we can kind of move around and get something else we might need out of that particular.
Now, is this another match grant?
Yeah, it'll be a 50-50 match grant. So, but it saved us $3,000 of Tidewater, so it was pretty nice.
Yeah. Well, I do like the idea of having the individual codes.
Yeah. Well, and it'll be both me and Wendy, and then of course Chief will all have access to a central on our computers, so that if something does arise or an issue arises, we can say, oh, well, it was so-and-so at this time using an RFD card or their fingerprint, or, I mean, it's biometrics and RFD, and if you really wanted to go into that, you could put it on smartphones and just walk up to the door with your smartphone and it'll unlock it. So it's a very comprehensive system. I don't think we'll use near what it can accomplish, but it's there in case we do later. I look down the road. So
You can restrict access to.
yeah, and then like if the community like 4-H right now uses this room on Sundays, well, they would be issued a code or a card just for that window of time, so it won't work any other time.
Mm-hmm.
So on a Sunday at 9 o'clock, they'll be able to come up to that door, scan it, and it'll let them in. But if Monday they forget something and we're closed, or they, at 8 o'clock Sunday night they have forgot something, and they go to use that card, it's not going to work. It's going to
Now, do the new plans include being able to isolate
yes.
So for instance, someone using this room can access the restrooms, but not
So that
the
door
rest of,
will be secured, it'll be locked after hours, but the women's bathroom, actually, door in the hall is gonna go away, and it's gonna go in right here, where
Mhm.
these are, this will go away. So that, and then that bathroom will be turned into an ADA, unisex bathroom so that, the community can use it.
yeah, okay,
So,
good. Okay,
And,
yes, I'm done, sorry.
okay. I don't have a whole lot, I've been doing a lot of updating on the website. We went out, was it last week? And took all new
Friday,
pictures of all the apparatus for this station. And then I went up to Tidewater with Eric, and we took all new pictures up there. So the new Tidewater picture is on there. I'm only missing one, the tender at Five Rivers. That's the only one I gotta get on there. But all new pictures of all the stuff. And then I kind of refigured some of the menus and made things a little easier to find and just moved stuff around and updated a bunch of stuff from the calendars and stuff like that on there. So I am setting up my photography room upstairs so that I can just leave it set up so that the lighting is the same every time. So as soon as I set that up, I will send out an email to everyone, and you can just kind of come in when you have time. And yes, board members too,
yeah.
get your picture taken.
This is a precursor to the security system. Because those pictures will go on your ID cards too.
Yeah.
Since we are gonna have a public hearing on the draft, civil service, can we post that on the website so that people can find it to review it if they?
Yeah, so I actually moved how to find the civil service page. So I'll add it underneath that or on that page so people can, take a look at it.
Yeah.
Right now, they can go on for like this meeting, there's the board, the whole packet's in there and it's in there.
Oh, good.
Louise actually, she left already. She actually alerted me that it wasn't in that packet. So for some reason, when I combined all the files, that one didn't combine. So, but it's all on there now, but I'll put it separately on the actual civil service.
Yeah, just
Page, yeah.
draft rules for consideration or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, good. Okay. We have a volunteer report.
And Rick's not here, and so I'll give that. So last week, was Fire Prevention Week, and we did a whole thing with the school. I haven't gotten any pictures or the videos from the school yet, because they have to go through and blur out any kids' faces that can't be online or social media or anything like that, so I'm still waiting for those. I'll be more than happy to tell you all when they're on there, because you'll get to see Eric dancing around as Sparky the dog.
I got to see the video. It was pretty good.
I haven't got to see it yet.
Oh, so now the identity of Sparky has been revealed.
Yeah. I have a picture of him in the outfit, that's all I have, but no, it was good. Those kids haven't had an assembly in 3 years, so some of them didn't even know what it was. They did pretty well.
I know my kid was pretty excited.
They did pretty well. And he was right up front, so he got like Sparky right as he was walking
Yeah, he
in,
was
so.
pretty excited.
That went really good. We've got some, October's Fire Prevention Month, so I'm doing some social media posts, things like that on there, promoting it. We gave them a crap ton of stuff too.
Yeah.
I handed your wife like 3 boxes of stuff to hand out to all the teachers to send home with kids, so. Tomorrow night is bingo, so for the ones that like to come. And then we've got our open house on Monday.
Trunk or treat next Friday.
And then we've got trunk or treat next Friday night at the community center parking lot.
And Sparky will be there too.
And Sparky will be there
Oh,
too.
good.
Hopefully our own costume will be here by then. We borrowed Yahad's. And then we'll have bingo one more time in November, and then we won't do it in December because of course we got Operation Santa, we got the Christmas light parade, and we've got this Santa's photos with Santa that we'll do here. We do have a new volunteer.
Well, an old new blonde.
All old new volunteer that came back, and we've got him all set up and everything. The nice thing is he's already got all the certs, so he can kind of jump on in. Other than that, I don't think there's anything. Am I missing anything?
No, you pretty much covered it.
I was wondering, are the lights out front new?
Oh, the red, they're still red.
Yeah, for the.
So that was for, I don't know if everybody saw the picture, but,
Covered with lenses for the light up of the night event.
Ah, okay.
so we participated in that. That
Right.
was, Light Up the Night is a precursor to the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. And so you pick like a night or a week during that week. You light your station red and you try and get the community involved. I found out about it kind of somewhat last minute, but we were registered nationally, and we were one of 2 districts in Oregon to do it, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I definitely noticed the lights because they were still very bright, you know, as I was on my way to
I
work.
forgot they were
but-
still up. So the cover picture on his operational report is one of the pictures we took for that, and then I've got another one on Facebook with some of the guys standing around, and we did like a little candlelight, kind of visual moment of silence thing.
If we leave them up long enough, we'll only have to do half of them green for Christmas.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of likes the red, though.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then we're gonna have a bunch of confused, is this port or starboard? Okay, very good. Union report?
Hold on.
You got anything to report from the union?
Okay. And Brett?
Combined all funds, we had $327,457 on hand at the end of September. So it's getting down there a little ways, but we should get by. We won't have a whole lot of money left. It won't be bad. Prior levy funds, we took in $3,419 for that. We haven't received any of the levy funds for this fiscal year that we're in now yet. That'll start coming in, possibly some of it this month, and then the bulk of it will be about a month from now, a little bit after. Personnel services, $214,735. That's taxes and everything combined. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule. Legal services, only $65 year to date. Office supplies, $2,098. So that's just about right on target. Building maintenance, $2,805. Vehicle fuel is high, of course, $5,289. So we're about 6% over year to date from where we should be. Not much we can do about that.
Our fingers crossed that the prices go down?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
that our call volume goes down.
Or, yeah, right.
Yeah. Vehicle repair, $6,274 for the first 3 months of the fiscal year. And engine ambulance equipment, $2,947. And that's all the equipment levy fund there. And then last thing I have on my list, Tidewater renovation since this all began, which October 28, 2020, $182,750. Got a lot
And
of
that
work,
includes the purchase.
a lot of work done.
Yeah.
And how much was the purchase? Does that include the purchase or not include?
No, it's not the purchase of the land.
Oh,
So we'd be what, 357?
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with that.
Very
So,
good. Okay, well, can I get a motion to accept the financials and approve the bills?
Make motion to approve the financial report as presented.
Moved and seconded to approve the financial report. All those in favor?
Aye. I'll make motion to approve the bills. Paying the bills.
It's been moved and seconded to approve paying the bills. All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Okay, have we had any correspondence?
We have not.
Old business, update on building purchase, draft resolution.
So everybody has in their folder the draft copy we got back from our legal office. So this is over at the city now. They're working through their legal process. My guess is it'll come back and we'll have to balance the two out to get one document between the two agencies that mirror each other. And then we'll be able to go forward. So not going to be able to approve it tonight because it's going to have to go through those courses. So my recommendation or suggestion at best is to consider doing a special meeting closer to the city council meeting to approve the resolution once it's finalized.
Everyone okay with that?
I'm not gonna come, I'll review it and have any comments, but.
Right.
So don't schedule them.
I think that'll be far enough out that you guys will have the final in hand and be able to read through it and ask
Right.
questions. And then when we come to the meeting, hopefully everything's already done and it's just
Just
open
a
the
matter of
meeting.
voting,
Yeah, it's just a
That's
matter
what
of-
my thought, yeah.
Yeah, just,
A lot of that
I
is
mean,
probably-
it's probably not gonna take very long, but, you know, we do want both bodies to be adopting resolutions that have the same terms in them. Makes it a whole lot easier. So the next council meeting is on the 10th of November. So depending on timing, we might be able to meet the evening of the 3rd.
So you're gonna give us enough time to apply for that grant, the seismic grant?
Mackenzie's working on it right now. I talked to them earlier this week and they were hoping to have a first revision of the drawing of the building to us by the end of this week. I'm gonna reach out to the state of Oregon next week and set up a time to go and sit down and talk to the seismic department, make sure everything's on par.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think we're okay as long as they are okay with the purchase agreement finishing prior to the deadline of the grant.
Yeah, as long as everything comes together at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. New business, we've got the 2022 operational report draft.
Yeah, so we haven't done an annual report in a while, that I can tell. I know we haven't done one in the last 2 years for sure since I've been here. So, I went through and I drafted, I used a couple examples from other organizations to pull, so I wasn't recreating the wheel. But I went through and created, with the help of everybody, this report that kind of just goes through the district as a whole, I think. So I sent that out to you guys. I did all your revisions today, so thank you for that. So those are all updated in there, plus some other ones that we found just going back through it, ourselves with fresh eyes again. And so what I'm looking at is if the board's had a chance to go through it, if there's no more revisions to it or not, I'd like to look at next meeting, putting it on the agenda to approve it for production and distribution to the
Yeah.
community.
Okay.
So I think by then, if there's any more revisions, they'll get caught and I'll have time to put them in there and have a final draft at that meeting. So. It's much better in color.
Right.
All right.
Just a visual reminder of everybody's term expiring on the same day. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Such it is.
should be interesting.
Gotta take a break after that one. So yeah, nothing to do tonight about it, just
Right.
make sure that everybody's looking at it and
Yep.
give me any corrections or,
Yeah, I've already gone through
Anything
the
you see in there?
punctuation and so on, so.
oh yeah. Yep.
Most of the ones you found, I found too, so.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've heard anything from our recording secretary.
Hasn't really perused it totally.
Yeah, right.
I'll probably send out updated revision tomorrow, since I went through and did all the stuff we found today. That way people aren't pointing out the same thing that's already been pointed out. So just kind of keep an eye on your emails.
Okay. And open house?
So we have the open house on the 24th. It's in lieu of our training for the night, so it's our normal training window. So it'll be Monday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then from 6 to 7 p.m. we've made ourselves available for questions if anybody has any about the building or about the upcoming measure in the election. So, but it's that time of year again. We try to do at least 1 to 2 open houses a year and get the public in here and show them everything and meet with them. Try to build up some recruiting and yeah, the kids love it. So
Yeah.
Maybe Sparky will make an appearance.
yeah.
Hopefully that costume's fairly warm.
It is
It
actually.
is, but you can't hear anything.
I can't hear anything. It's a big plastic dome, so.
Ah, okay, well,
I'll show you the picture. She'll put it up on the big screen.
so what night of the week is that?
It's Monday night.
Okay. All right, and then we have the chief's report.
Yeah, so like I said, I talked to McKinsey earlier this week. Civil Service Committee, they finished their rules. We've got the public hearing set, so we're good there. Grant funding, so yeah, our application for BRIC got kicked out at the sub-application until we get on the county plan. So we're working on that. Seismic in progress. The FEMA grants, they haven't been updated, and I put the dates on here. I went and checked. So like SAFER hasn't been changed since the 21st of September, AFG since the 28th of September, and there's been no awards for the fire prevention. I did talk to the rep. They said that, yeah, they didn't make the deadline, but they still have money that they're awarding. The SAFER is still 200 million shy of their rewards. So they're still coming, I just don't know when,
Right.
honestly. And none of the FEMA reps they got deadlines or dates or anything to offer. So we're kind of, at their mercy. So,
Well, fortunately, we aren't spending the money right now either, so.
no, we're not spending that money, but
Yeah.
it sure would be nice to
Yeah.
get those funds in and give us some more financial freedom, so.
Yeah.
The OSFM grants and state grants, so the engine program, we've submitted our application. The application period doesn't end until November 30th, so they're not even, I don't think we're gonna hear anything back on that until after the first of the year at the earliest. FEB surplus, we filled out the paperwork for that. We won't hear anything from FEB unless a vehicle becomes available. So when they finally get something, they'll call us and be like, hey, we've got a truck, do you wanna look at it? And they will go from there. That could be next month, that could be next year. So it all depends on what federal surplus gets available from the agencies. And then the OSFM just opened up a staffing grant that's almost identical to the SAFER grant.
Mhm.
So I'm guessing they got money from the National Relief Act is my assumption. But they opened up a grant for fire districts, and there's a bunch of rules. If if your budget's over 10 million, you're not eligible. If you have so many staff, you're not eligible. So I'm working my way through that, but it looks like we're eligible, and so we're going to apply for the 2 firefighter positions that are available, and then 1 fire prevention position. The total available is 4 positions. It's 2 and 2. So you can get 2 firefighters, 2 fire prevention. For our size operations, I think 1 fire prevention person will do, but definitely the 2 firefighters. So if we get that and we don't get SAFER, we can use those funds to keep us where we are. If we get SAFER and we get that, we could hire on 2 firefighters for the next 3 years. It opens up doors of opportunity. We just have to kind of wait and see how it goes.
That one's got a pretty short turnaround too, I think, doesn't it?
It does. I'll be done with the grant next week,
Okay.
and it is competitive. So it's not like the last one where it's like, hey, put your your application in, and then you got a check coming next week,
Right.
there's gonna be a competitive process to go through the applications and find out who's got the need for it, and who checks all the boxes, so.
And we don't know where we're at on the safer grant.
No, they're still out there, they have 200 million in awards still to go. So, all I've been able to get out of them is that they did not make their deadlines. So, I can't get expectations of dates.
No
or
dates,
anything. Yep. I honestly don't know what the holdup is, so, yep. For the boat, we're still ready to put it down at the port, we're just waiting for power, and they're waiting for their money to come in from taxes, so.
And actually, we were down there
Last
for dinner last week, and they are starting to put power in. They have a
Good.
trench dug, and I think that's what happened to Pioneer on accident
Good.
when they were putting it in, so.
So maybe we'll get to put the boat down there pretty soon. Automatic aid agreement, I met with Yachats. The meeting was set up to meet with Yachats and Seal Rock fire chiefs. Seal Rock canceled out of the meeting at the last minute because of personal reasons. He wasn't feeling good. But I met with Yachats. We went through the 2011 agreement and made updates based off of today's operations, and have created a draft. So once all three chiefs are good with the draft, then it'll go up to the board levels for review. So right now, it's just in draft form for operational review. In addition, I also put in the back of your binders, or Wendy put in the back of your binders, the response from Chief Ewing. So I emailed, as you directed, to ask if they had any follow-up to the letter that was sent regarding the IGA. And his response was, and I'll just let you guys read it, but it's in the very, very back portion of your binder. And his response there is, it's a little lengthy, but kind of tells you what you need to know, so. And that's about it. Yep. Because I already talked about the operational report, so.
Right. Well, and I really don't have anything for the president's report. And so there's questions from the citizens and viewing audience, if there's nothing.
I haven't got anything from the viewing, obviously,
Okay.
no citizen, so.
Okay. And good of the order, does anyone have anything to bring up for good of the order?
I mean, I got a kid that just throwing like a
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else to come before the board, then I guess we can adjourn the meeting. And we will have... helps,
Yeah.
because I can't imagine it's going to take that long for the city's attorney to review.